Hey guys, what is up? Welcome to the Pick and Roll Podcast, episode number 89. I'm here with my guys Blaze Radio, Nikki C's, and Rios from the Just Fans Podcast. How you
Yes,
doing?
sir. Yes,
Breaking news
sir.
today. Huge breaking news today.
Yeah, it's okay.
Yeah? It's okay? It's the end of an era.
Basketball off season, man. We'll get to it.
Yeah, it's the end of an era.
Boring for the most parts, but we got something today to talk about.
I mean, it's not super surprising. He's been getting beat up by Shams a lot lately.
Yeah, might as well, guys. I'm just gonna bring this up. Woj announced his retirement from ESPN. So I was shocked a little bit, and then I was like, how old is he? So he's gotta be up there in age, but
he's in his 50s. Yeah,
he's got up there. So now with Sam.
All right.
We'll be back right after this commercial break.
Now my headset just went like power
8
off.
p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on the Hardcore Sports Network. Catch me free of NFL Pick'ems, hosted by Philly Sports Raps, featuring Nikki
There you go, man.
Tokens and guest.
Back
to our regular program.
LeBron is.
We'll return after these messages.
My headset just decides to go power off. I'm like, it's not dead. I just charged it.
And now back to our regularly scheduled program.
Yes. So I'm gonna.
Woj did it for 37 years. Brian has about 50.
What is
anyone here? Nikki, is that you?
Yeah, that's just me looking around social media.
Okay.
All right. So, yeah, LeBron is lasting longer than Woj. Crazy. But Sam's is a free agent now, so anybody can pick up Sam's. Woj is gone. Brian Windhurst could be on the come up now. So I'm gonna start off with Rios. I know we kind of like jabbed about it, but
no, I mean it's surprising, but not surprising. I mean he's been doing it for almost as long as I've been alive. But I mean, the last couple of years he's been getting beat out a lot on some of these breaking stories by Shams, and it was probably time for him to go ahead and hang it up and try something different.
Yeah. Now who's gonna be the first? Blaze.
Hot take. I don't care. It doesn't
That's not
really.
A hot take.
It doesn't really affect me. It's not a big deal. I don't give a shit, to be honest. Here's the thing. I never met the guy. I don't know him. He's not a personal friend. It's the same as when celebrities pass away and people get oh my goodness, I can't believe Michael Jackson or Prince died and this and that. And it's like, do you really know? Like, I have a friend whose father just passed away. He was in the hospital. He was my boss for my last job and everything. It's like, that means a lot more to me than people losing their job or people dying in celebrity. It's not that I don't, respect the dead and respect, what he's done and think he's so good at, but like Rios just said, we already got people that do the same thing. Yeah. We already got people that are going to get this news. It's not like we're not going to get breaking news now because he's gone. And just like Rios said, he's been doing it for so long. It's like, it's not really a surprise. If I knew him personally or something, is it really going to change how NBA news is given? No, not really. So, I mean, I get why it's news and why it's to the forefront, and it's out of the blue instead of someone saying that they're probably going to quit this year, but doesn't mean shit to me.
Yeah, well, thank you to Art Koo, my childhood neighbor, Jake Fisher, who's a part of Yahoo. He looks like he's a dark horse to replace Woj, and I'm like, wow, I gotta call him.
We're gonna get the news no matter what.
I mean,
I know that, but that's just good for my friend, though.
They're big shoes. Don't get me wrong, but at the same time, it's like, again, he's been doing almost 4 decades. Like,
yeah, props to him. A lot of people wish they had his job. That's another thing. When the celebrities pass away, people are like, don't you wish you had their life? Or when someone's 95 years old and they die, or it's like, well, they were kind of old. They lived a great life. I would trade places and love to be in their shoes for a little while. I'd love to have been in his shoes for a while. I'm sure he met tons of famous people and why not hang it up and take a break from it after all that time? And like Rio says, man, recently it's a younger guy's game now. People are going to try to get the scoop and all that, and why not hang it up now?
Yeah. When you're up, not on top, but walk away while you're more or less in like the prime of your career versus staying around too long and just being almost like a footnote.
Yeah. You see a lot of that in the wrestling news. People that have been doing wrestling news for 30, 40 years are still trying it, and they're just getting embarrassed by their takes now because everything's changed so much. And I mean, Woj was still up on the up and up. It wasn't like he was doing bad, but like Rio said, man, there's other people going to get it. And then he comes along 2 days later. You don't really, scoop is the scoop. Only one person gets the scoop.
Yeah. The days of the Wash bomb, like it's been a good minute since we've had one of those because it's just so much competition out there.
Yeah, they announced his last Woj bomb, which was Isaac Okoro for the Cavs.
Actually, wouldn't this be his final Woj bomb? Him retiring?
I mean, involving
involving because he was Mr. Basketball News for so long, and now he's not. Like I said, if he would have said beginning of last year, "Hey, at the end of next summer, I'm going to retire. I got it all planned out," then it wouldn't have been like you said. It is a surprise. It's something that we didn't plan it. It's not on the agenda for today. It's not something we were planning to talk about, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Nikki, do you have anything to say? I know I muted you, but you have anything to say?
I mean, hey, it happens. It's all part of life. People do something for a while, then they move on to something else. Woj, he was that guy. Breaking news. He's the guy that we've come to know as that guy who breaks news. Now, sometimes he has relationships with certain players too, and he helps push out stories faster for them. But I guess he just decided it ran its course and it's time to move on. And the lesson you can learn from that is if you feel like something's run its course, move on while you're still ahead. Don't stay and be the guy that stayed 3-4 years past their expiration date. Don't be Shaq on the Suns, Cavs, and Celtics, basically, or like T-Mac on the Pistons or something like that. Woj is going to get out of the way, but he's still considered one of the top guys and what he does and move on to something else. So best of luck to him. Now it'll be interesting to see who's the new popular person that breaks everything.
Shams.
Yep.
Yeah.
He has been for the last 2 years.
Sham bomb? Is it sham bomb or should he get his own?
Yeah. Oh, now my friend just texted me about that. What is up, Wesley? What is up, man? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah, now all my friends are texting me. Do you know this guy? I'm like, yes. Like I know this guy. Like, anyways, but let's just move on to the top 30 coaches by what was it, Hoops Hype, I think? No, CBS Sports, top 30 coaches in NBA.
See,
Look at number 2.
It's very subjective.
Right, that's the first thing I was going to say.
Number one, if you're a big fan of that coach, you're going to put him higher, and that's your team. Number two, what if you hate your coach that you're a fan of a team, and you're going to put him lower because you wish someone else was the coach? So this is very subjective. You could probably poll 20 different people and you'll get 20 different lists.
I'm curious what they use as far as like what they base these rankings on. Is it based off success, previous history, projections? I'm kind of curious what they used.
Now, if you took a poll from the players and said, who do they think? If you think the players think was the best coach, that might mean a little bit more to me than, hey, this is just CBS Schmo, Joe Schmo saying who he thinks is.
Hey, I like Joe Schmo. What's wrong with Joe Schmo?
He's better than Joe Hendry.
Yeah, I'll agree with you on that. But yeah,
I would. I'd move a bunch around. I mean, where's the coach that won the freaking championship last year? Shouldn't he be number one?
You would think.
Shouldn't the Celtics coach be up there?
He's number 11.
I mean, Mazzulla was amazing. He for what he did, what he's doing with that team. Thibodeau, what he's doing with the Knicks, pulling these teams together. I mean, it's super subjective.
Udoka, I like that right there. I think that would be
a little bit higher. He's considering what he took over.
Yeah,
you mean higher up, like here?
Yeah, like Rio said, whatever criteria they used, it's that makes a difference in a list like this.
Steve Kerr seems very high to me because and Mark Jackson put that team together. All thing he had to do was just show up, and they were going to win the championship.
Yeah. I'm still kind of pissed at the whole Mark Jackson thing. Popovich at 14.
Because again, he's like Udoka. They took over, a team with a bunch of youngsters, and you basically have to teach them how to be pros in the NBA. Because all of them are 21 and under.
And if you're going by longevity and stuff, how would Popovich not be in the top 5?
Yeah.
It's
and
like
got Spoelstra up there. I'm like, Spoelstra's a great coach. He's definitely deserving to be in the top 10.
Yeah.
But what has he accomplished after the Heatles? Basically, not much. They've been to the NBA Finals, but they had no real chance of winning those finals. Let's be honest.
Plus, there's different kinds of coaches too, and this is where I wish coach was here to chime in as well. And I've done a little bit of coaching on a high school level. But, there's those player coaches. There's the old school mean coaches that are going to whip you and yell at you and tell you you could do better. And there's coaches that just sit back and let their team do what they do. And so there's a bunch of different levels of coaching too, I would say. But it's a list.
It's a list. I was just shocked that Nick Nurse was 2.
Yeah, that was the thing that stood out to me the most. I'm like, he definitely belongs in the top 5 currently. He won a championship with the Raptors.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. It could be a Toronto person, or it could be someone part of Philly, and we got to see what he does with the new team he has now. Like Rios is saying, people like Mazzulla and Udoka have already taken teams and molded them. Nurse didn't do. Last year was not his team. This year this is kind of his team. So now we get to see if he can be a better coach with what he has to work with.
Yep. And you guys know who's the last coach on the list?
No, because
JJ Redick. JJ Redick.
He just got hired, so
I know.
People get him. He's never been a coach, so I could see that. I think he's going to do well. I think he'll do better than most people would think. He's very basketball smart. He had. I know the LeBron factor is there, but I still think someone's got to, run the show from the behind the scenes as well to some extent. It might be a lot smaller in LA, but. Redick, I want to give him a chance. He's brand new.
Yeah, I think as a play caller, he'll probably do just fine. But I think LeBron will be the one running that team, and I want to see if he actually stands up to him and tells him, "Hey, you know what? In this instance, you're wrong. You need to. I'm the coach. You're the player. They need to have that divide because I don't know."
Or will we see him cater to the fans and Bronny starts game 1 just to have that moment with his dad right off the bat, like we talked about before?
If we see that happen, you already know who's winning that.
Yeah. And then I feel bad for the Wizards head coach because he had to deal with Jordan Poole.
That's your boy.
The hardest worker in the locker room.
Yeah. Yeah, but you picked Ben Simmons.
Hey, I just saw a video of Ben Simmons. There's a lot of people giving him praise on his game coming into this year. I'm not saying he's a 6-man player of the year.
4 years in a row.
Every year they do it. But
come on, Blade. You know better.
Put him in the conversation with the Jaws and the Zions and those that have not amounted to what they should have. They're there for a reason. Is he an all-star player, Ben Simmons? No, but he's still in the league. To a lot of people, he should be gone for what he could not do and didn't do and sat down and didn't contribute or didn't want to contribute or whatever. But when's the last time we've heard him talk, like an interview or anything? That's another thing. We don't hear from the guy himself about what he's going through. Can you imagine being a person so talented, touted out of college, and then falls apart in the pros? Dealing with that mentally has to suck. Yeah. So I kind of feel bad for him. And if he does a little bit, it won't take much for him to be a very much improved player. He doesn't have to come out and score 20 points.
You see it not just in basketball, but you see it across sports, like in the NFL. You have some guys that have all the talent in the world, they just don't have the mental aspect of it. And they don't amount to much. If you look at all the Hall of Famers, they're not all the greatest athletes that the sport has ever seen. It's the dudes that were mentally strong and everybody else that persevered and had Hall of Fame careers.
Yes, Arku, as of right now, he has played like a bum. I'm not saying he didn't. But if there's still a professional athlete, you have to give them the benefit of the doubt that they can improve. And I'm seeing nothing but him practicing the last few weeks, not sitting and not talking or nothing. So, hey, give him some credit for giving it a shot and sticking around, trying.
Yeah, I give him effort for, still trying, but it's we got to see him actually try to play games because
Yeah.
from what we've been hearing, he's been physically fit to play. He just didn't want to.
That's what's weird. Like, the mental aspect could be getting to him, and we see there's a couple NFL players right now that are sitting. Oh, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Mental health is a real deal. Yeah. It's a real thing that can affect these people. You got to think they're being treated like gods and saviors their entire lives, and if they don't produce at the highest level, they got fans. They probably get death threats. They got people bitching at them, and look at Bryce Young right now with the Panthers getting benched. What he has to go through right now. But who's to say he gets on a different team and does a lot better? We don't know. And that's why I give players like Ben Simmons the benefit of the doubt. He has sucked.
Yeah, because we've seen it before. Look at Drew Brees. He was talking about the Chargers. They called him a ball. He goes to the Saints, and he's, first ballot Hall of Famer.
You never know. You never know.
It's about being in the right spot and having the right people, the right support system to guide you mentally.
Wouldn't that be funny if we're talking, in the middle of the season, how Ben Simmons is not maybe the best player, but actually is contributing to a team now? That would be a hell of a story from what he's gone through.
Yeah, that'd be a huge upgrade instead of him, being the best dressed on the bench.
Yeah, that's God. I mean, can you imagine what his DMs and messages and letters are like? People are probably dogging him nonstop for the past few years, ever since he was with Philly. Especially people from Philly.
I was just about to say that. The city did him no favors. And I'm not a Ben Simmons fan. I am not. After what he put all of us through, I don't know if I'll ever be a fan of him again. I got to see him improve and on court or whatever. I got to see that. But the city did no wrong. The city, it wasn't a good spot for him.
And it's not Ben Simmons that's saying he's doing better. It's other people, and he's trying new trainers. He's trying new things. So I give him a little bit of credit for trying something different to try to resurrect his career. He may be a flop again. We don't know until he, like Rio says, till he gets on the court.
Yeah, and look at him and Cam Thomas. They're looking to build a team around Cam Thomas right now. And we'll see. Nick Claxton is still there. They still got some young guys there. They don't need him to do a whole lot, but I got to see it to believe it.
Yeah, they don't need him to be the franchise cornerstone. They don't need him to carry the load. That's what Cam Thomas is going to be. He's going to be your franchise player. You just need to be a piece that fits into the puzzle that, gets them into winning basketball, which they haven't been doing for quite some time.
It's tough to get out of that.
Ben Simmons is getting say, I don't know, 10 rebounds, averaging 10 rebounds, 8 points a game. He's at least doing something.
Contributing. That's all they really want from him at this point. Just contribute something. Play.
I mean, where's his ceiling? Is it a double-double, 10 assists, 10 rebounds? If that's it, that's pretty damn good. Like you said, with a Cam Thomas leading the team in scoring and stuff, you have a facilitator or someone who can stretch the court and, make it easier for him. Who knows? He doesn't
do the dirty work, get the offensive rebounds, guard the other team's best player, contribute.
Ben Simmons, comeback player of the year. Let's go. Just kidding.
And then don't forget that the Nets traded Mikal Bridges for draft picks and stuff. So they're looking to build around Cam Thomas. If they have Ben Simmons and he turns out to be something,
where's NYG?
And then you have Claxton, that could be a big three if Ben Simmons does something.
I want an unpopular opinion on this. Where's he at? What's up, Jamar?
I don't know, man. He's
Ben
not
Simmons.
he doesn't have a popular opinion.
Ben Simmons.
Let's not talk about Ben Simmons. Making my stomach turn.
Yeah.
Now we're going to talk about something else that makes my stomach turn.
Yeah.
A former player's opinion.
That's exactly where I was going with Gilbert Arenas. Believes that NBA prospects should have the opinion to choose when they get drafted by. And I'm like,
seriously.
Thank you for that. Shots fired. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you for that. I was just thinking, why? It's something to talk about, though, but it's not really, no.
Yeah, good luck convincing the billionaire owners to do that.
Yeah, right.
Good luck with that. Let me know how it works out for Gilbert.
I mean, if you're a LeBron James, a generational talent, you're someone who changes the game, you might have a little more pull, but the general people, the regular players, draft prospects haven't proven themselves yet in the NBA. It's a different level of play, and Gilbert Arenas just trying to get his name in the news again.
But I mean, even some of the guys that aren't LeBron generational type talents, they think they are, and they try to get that pull. guys
That's-
like we see it all the time in different sports too. Like they think they're the next big thing, but you're not.
What's like these players that come out of this transfer portal in college and they can say, hey, I'm switching. Next year, I'm switching. And you get the NBA and they want to control it again. We heard that from what's his name, the Bears quarterback when he got drafted, Caleb Williams. They're saying he wants part ownership and he wants this saying this and that. And it's like, come on, you haven't proved yourself on this level yet. Let's be real.
Exactly.
I don't need to sign Caleb Williams. I can go in an hour. Especially after Sunday. I'm like,
Yeah, I'm using a lot of football references, but I'm trying to bring it back to these.
And then the
parts.
Bryce Young. Yeah.
Yeah, and that
There will be a
happens in-
video on that on the network later
That
on.
happens in
tomorrow.
basketball too. We've talked about it. How many times have I said in these podcasts? You never know when a player leaves one team in one situation, one coach, one system, goes to a different one, and they can be a lot better. Tobias Harris.
Really?
He's got to be better with the Pistons. You just think about it.
I mean,
He
perfect
has to
example
be.
Is Paul
I
Gasol.
don't know.
It wouldn't take much for him to be better. Seriously, let's be real.
Yes.
right.
You look at Kate Cunningham, you look at Jared Ivey, I go on. I'm like, yeah, and Vic is laughing. You got Vic, go back to Vic Watt. Please. I like Vic Watt. Anyways,
Another opinion. Let's go to more opinion. My opinion, and this is from the worst person to take an opinion from. Sorry, coach, he's not here to defend him this time.
yeah, Kendrick
Big
Perkins
jerk.
is putting Jokic above Olajuwon.
He's around Stephen A too much because now he's just saying shit just to say shit.
Come on,
and
man.
if someone says he's absolutely
Of
correct.
course, it's once again subjective. If you're talking to a kid who's 21 years old, they've never seen Hakeem or Manu and these other players. They might not even seen Dirk. They might say, "Who is that dude? He don't look like a basketball player." They might put Jokic and Giannis 1 and 2 because that's all they've seen. I can't argue with that, but Perk is doing it just to do it.
This got to be for click. There's no way you have Jokic above Hakeem. Maybe at the end of his career, but as of right now, no. Come on.
I can understand why because of the triple doubles aspect. I can see that.
Hakeem has
Because-
2 quadruple doubles.
Yeah.
The other person to hit is David
I
Robinson.
mean, has he been averaging a quadruple double throughout the season like Jokic? Jokic has been doing that for what? 2-3
Jokic has
years?
an average he said quadruple double, Mitch, not triple double.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
How many? You can count on one hand the number of quadruple doubles in NBA history.
Yeah. And
There's
Hakeem has a
multiple guys that have averaged triple doubles.
And,
Yeah.
and it's a smaller form. I mean, you're only talking about Jokic has played what, 10 years, 9 years,
Something like that.
16
Right
or
around 10 years, I think.
2017 or something like that when he started.
And
And he's only had like 2 or 3 years where he's been top level. Hakeem
Yeah.
did it for a really long time. You could go to the ring argument. Hakeem won
I was just about to ask you, how
Jokic
many
has
rings
one.
does Hakeem have? 2?
two
Back to
and
back.
one, yeah, back to back.
Back to back in league history as well. Like
It's subjective. I can see, like you said, Mitch, I can see why some people would put Joker there now because what he's done. And it's you get what you see recently is in the forefront of your mind. Like we're used to seeing him.
Some,
not just that. Hakeem is one of the best defenders in NBA history. Like
Yeah.
it's not even close to Joker. Like I don't get that at all.
And let's look back how many international players were back then, like Joker and Ginobili and those guys. They set the precedent. There wasn't a
Yes.
bunch, now there's a whole bunch more international players. But
Yeah, back then it was very, very few. It was like, and they were mostly centers. Like,
Yep.
Manu Bol,
you had your Detlef
Jorge
Schrempf.
Muresan, like there was very, and then you had Petro, and
Mhm.
just other guys, but it wasn't a whole bunch like there is now.
So that could be, you could take that both ways because now Joker, he's doing better when there's tons of them. When Olajuwon's only a couple, but there's an argument both ways. So I'd flip flop the two at least and put Olajuwon at one.
you put Hakeem there. So 3 was Giannis, 4 was Dirk, and 5 was Manu.
I'd probably put Luka over Manu. Manu was great, but
Yep.
Yeah, Luke was a superstar. Manu, like I think his career got better when he accepted the role as 6-man because
yeah,
he was better with that second unit.
Yeah.
But I
And
couldn't
of course
see
you would say
Tony
that.
Parker ahead of Manu.
Of course we also said that.
I would too.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying because it's
I hated
Spurs.
his flopping. Oh my god, that was absolutely
Right?
Yeah,
right.
one of the innovators.
And
I
then
saw
he did.
He lost a piece of hair. That's
Yeah.
what it's called.
Don't
Is he the one
forget
that caught
Euro.
the bat? He catch the bat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was like
Don't forget-
One of the highlights of his career.
Don't forget the Euro step that he like. Was he the one who like really
One of 'em,
used
one
the
of
Euro
'em.
step, or was that Dwayne Wade? It was one of those two.
I'd give both of them credit for getting it to be
I would say
normal.
Mark was more known for it than D Wade was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So then I
Definitely.
can see that.
Something mellow. Alexander. Sky.
Yep.
Everybody in
What
the
is
chat.
up, everybody? Yep. But yeah, when you go into that, all right, you have with Luca. I can see Luca being at 5 and Manu at 6. I can see that because Luca is the number one guy. He's the best guy in the league. People argue that. Manu, it's like how many 6-man awards did he win?
We'll
Like,
talk about that. One.
Yeah.
We'll talk about that in a
Oh,
little
okay.
bit.
Oh, we'll get to that.
Yeah, we're talking
later.
about that
I mean,
later.
you know,
Yeah.
And
Basically,
Luke,
with Luka, you're talking about, arguably one of the best players in the world versus Manu was just a guy, basically. You just on a great team.
plus, and I'll admit I don't know either, but look what Luka did before he got in the NBA. He was a king over there doing phenomenal things as
13.
He was
He
one of the
was
best players
13.
in Europe as a teenager.
Yeah, that's unheard of.
He's
Lot
been
of
against
teams.
grown men professionally as a teenager. Like, he's been that guy. I hate he's on Dallas, but he's one of my favorite players to root for, even though he flops too damn much.
Yeah, that's
I'll clip that. Now we just need him to say Wembanyama.
now they need to enhance that flopping rule even more, man. I would love to
Yeah.
see that.
Oh my
Really
gosh,
enforce
he's
it.
Worse than LeBron.
Really enforce it. They should have an extra ref sitting at the desk with a TV that can like hit a buzzer and be like, ain't happening. That's a flop. And it could be his fucking opinion. I don't care because it is subjective because sometimes they do get hit and they embellish, but it's pretty obvious when it's really bad flop, LeBron James.
Seriously. So you start calling him as flagrant. You know what? You want to flop? Flagrant. Do it
Yeah.
again.
Have they been?
Yep.
They've been cracking down on that more
little
than
bit.
usual.
And it takes a process. They can't just say flop and you're suspended for 5 games because there is some part that's hard to tell if they're really getting hit or not. But I mean, how many times, like I've said, LeBron gets hit in the chest and he's holding his eye, or he gets hit in the back of the head and he's holding his mouth, or it's always it's acting.
Right.
So if they enhance the penalty, yes, I think we'd see less of it.
And then you look at my guy, Joel Embiid. He's like really known for flopping.
He's
Well,
up
he
there.
just falls. He just falls down. That's what he sounds like.
I think you need to save that for Anthony Davis.
Uh,
I mean, it's across the board. And here's the thing: I'm not
It's
knocking it
across the
completely
league.
because if other people are doing it, you might as well do it too. So I kind of get why people that like Luka, if we go back and watch when he first came in, I don't think you see him do that a lot. But when he's
No.
seeing all these other players do it, he's like, well, shit, I'm a star too. If I get hit in the arm, I'm going to fall down too and get a call. So it's like, I kind of get why they do it. That's why I think they really should ramp it up to try to stop it or deter it a little bit more.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
I remember growing up, I didn't see a whole lot of flopping until guys like Manu and Vlade Divac. They brought it from overseas. 'Cause
Yes,
he's
good
weird
point,
and
Vlade.
he's
a lot of
punching
them
each
bring
other
that
in the
soccer
face.
mentality to
Yes.
the game of basketball.
That's what it
flopping.
is. Because they knew they can get that card if they fall down, pretend you
Yeah.
hold your ankle.
Vlade Divac was one of my favorite centers growing up.
Oh,
I
I'm
loved him
sorry.
on Sacramento.
Sorry to hear that.
What? What? I loved him with Chris Webber and those guys.
All right. Call
What? I was
timeout.
young. Bruh.
Call
There's Chris
timeout.
Webber,
Oh, that's right. You're a Michigan fan too.
one of my
Sorry.
favorite Sixers during that brief period, along with AI. Then eventually,
Did you really
developed.
forget I was a Michigan fan?
I loved Chris Webber, dude. The way he played back in the day, like I thought he was going to be like one of the best in the NBA for a really long time. He was really good.
He
But
was good.
I don't think he lived up to the potential he should have.
He did.
All
He's
5 of
great
those
player,
dudes.
But I mean, yeah, no, I'm with you on that one. Like when he got traded for Penny Hardaway on draft day, I was like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Yeah, as a kid, I'm like, what's going on? Chris Webber was the best player. Like, how come he's not going number 1?
Yeah.
No one talks about the other Fab Fives, the Jimmy Kings and the Ray Jacksons. It's always the Jalen Roses and the Jawan Howards that everyone talks about. But that I wasn't even really a Michigan fan, but you got to love watching that team. That team and the UNLV Running Rebels when they were real big back in
J.R.
the day.
Smith, yeah.
When the
University
Running
of Las
Rebels
Vegas.
and when they were big time in Michigan, those are some of the most exciting teams. And I'll put Georgetown back in the day with Ewing and then Iverson and them. Those were
Yep.
so much fun to watch when I was younger.
I remember that.
Just college
And-
basketball has just changed. The one and dones and
LSU,
stuff like
yeah.
that. I really miss players. I wish players should have to be there for
North
3
Carolina
years.
Tar Heels.
I'm so mad. I'm
MJ
still mad at Chris
Worthy.
Webber. Even though I wasn't around for it, I'm
Vince
still mad at
Carter.
Chris Webber for that timeout.
Well, he should have been called for traveling at the same time.
Right.
And that's
right.
the worst part about it. So the people that complain
Combination.
about the timeout, you see, traveled as well. So, but
They
that's
were
what I mean. The
doing-
mental. We talk about the mental thing with Ben Simmons. Same thing. It's a brain fart. These are human beings that make mistakes. But just think about it. You make a mistake here on YouTube or at work, and it's not that big of a deal. You can overcome it. These are making mistakes on national TV in front of millions of people. It's got to affect you. And for people to come back from that, I give them a lot of respect.
Yeah. Especially, where Ben Simmons with that pass to Thibault.
Well, look at who was it? J.R. Smith when he forgot. LeBron's like, what? And he forgot,
But we all know why Jamar.
This whole-
J.R. Smith forgot.
but it don't matter. It's like brain
know it
farts
doesn't
happen.
matter.
They're human beings too. They make mistakes. Unfortunately, they're under a huge magnifying glass.
You know who just made a mistake? Jason Tatum with his comment about the NBA Finals being a rematch for this coming finals. He thinks it's going to be the same exact ones, and I feel like that's a mistake right there.
If you're on that team, you got to think that way. You got to think that you're going back. You have to. That's
No, I'm
Mamba.
not talking about the Boston part. I'm talking about the Dallas part.
Why not? I mean, they did it last year. They could do it again. They pretty much have the same team.
And they upgraded.
Yeah,
They
and-
did upgrade, but look at all these other teams that upgraded as well. The Western Conference got even better. Except for
and
the
last
Lakers.
year we said the Western Conference was stacked, and the one team we didn't talk a lot about was Dallas. And look who represented them in the finals. So I mean, yes, parity is there. It could be something different, but I see why he did it. I see why he said it, and I mean,
Yeah.
I think
I'll give him kudos there, but I'm just like, okay.
I think
would you
Tatum
take
has a
Dev-
lot to prove this year because Jaylen Brown's kind of taking that team.
Okay. Would you take Denver Nuggets over Dallas?
I don't know. It's tough.
Mm,
It
yeah.
could be
I'll-
something. It could be.
I'll
it
take
could be a-
Denver.
It could be a completely different team. So much has to happen for Denver to be there.
I know. And then the same thing with Minnesota, with Anthony Edwards.
Yeah,
the
there's-
Thunder got better. That's 3.
And they
The
were the
Phoenix
top
Suns,
team
they're
last
pretty
year.
much the dumpster fire right now.
But if they put
Uh,
it together, they have the firepower to compete with anybody. You have to
Oh
say
yeah,
that.
they do.
But they have to
they
put
do.
it together.
They got
Look
the
what we
fire-
said with Luka and Kyrie last year. It was a flop. It ain't going to work. Now we're saying the same thing with Bradley Beal and Durant and them. What if they put it together? They're going to be dangerous. Same thing with the Clippers. I hated that they had those 4 players last year, but in the midseason, they clicked for a while and they were dangerous for a little while.
Yeah.
So-
People are forgetting about this team, Memphis. A lot of people
Now-
are forgetting about Memphis.
I think that might be a clue there for Denver. If Westbrook can have any bit of his former self, he can be a factor to help Denver get back.
Yeah.
He
He's
doesn't
the
have
guy
to
to
be
know
his
with this
triple-double guy, but
'Cause
It
he's
just
shown
has
his
to
will-
go
He's shown
with
his
his
will
ego.
off the bench. He's shown he wants to be a team player. He realized I don't need to go out there and get a triple double. I just want a chance.
Yeah,
to
but like Blaze said, it comes down to mentality. We all know the mentality of Westbrook. I'm just
Yeah, but
saying,
things-
is he
things
actually going to
change.
take
Once-
that step back?
things change. Plus, different team, different coach, different system. He knows he's getting older. If he's willing to take a little bit of a step back, just like we talked about Cat and Ant. If Cat would have took a step back and let Ant have that team, which it seems like that's happening. Same thing with
Yeah.
Westbrook. If he can go there and go say, hey, Jokic is the man, I might be coming off. I might be 6th man. We'll talk about that in a little bit, but Westbrook might be coming off the bench to be that spark. Who knows? But if he works out there, he can be insane with that team.
Yeah, because he was willing to take the role with the Clippers.
Yep.
It's just in LA, they made him the scapegoat. Like
Yeah.
he was not the problem.
I
True.
hated that.
James Harden.
I hated that.
James Garbage.
Yep. Thank you, Harden and Kawhi, for that. Yeah, Westbrook might even be the sixth option. I don't even know if I'll put him over Aaron Gordon.
We'll see. We'll see.
Yeah.
If they start him, I can understand that. If they don't, I can understand that. We'll see how.
I mean, if they want to put him at the 2, yeah, I can see that. But I think he comes up. I think he's better coming off the bench, going against second units.
Yep.
If he just leads the helm for the second unit, look out. That could be something.
That's what Denver was missing last year. They didn't really have that strong second unit like they had when Bruce Brown was there.
Yep.
You need a glue guy, and they don't really. They didn't have one last year, and you could tell, and that's why they
Good
lost.
point. Very good point.
Yep. Russ is sometimes crazy. Yeah. Yeah,
We
pretty
are.
much.
We all are.
Yeah. Yeah. Are you know who's even crazier? Carmelo Anthony.
Nice segue.
Because thank you. Shout out to
Alright.
Ed Philly for that. Carmelo Anthony says he in his prime he would average 28 points per game on the current Knicks team. And
I don't blame him for saying it. Why not?
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't.
I
but
don't either. I don't either.
That's
I
that,
like it.
that egotistical mentality that they have. They've been professionals. He's shown he can do it. He was arguably one of the best Olympic players when you're playing with all the greats. So
Yep.
I don't blame him for saying that. I think he's wrong. I think it would be more around 20 to 22 because you got a couple other players.
Oh, you got
In
Brunson
his
leading.
prime?
Brunson and Randall. He would
In
have
his
to take.
prime?
It would be a three. It'd be Brunson, him, and Randall. There's not all three of them can't score 30.
Yeah, but you know how Carmelo was like, give me the ball and get everyone out of the way.
Yeah,
and he probably would have ruined that team too if he was with the Knicks right now.
Exactly my point.
He would
But
probably
with
be-
the defense,
he kind of did when he got traded to the Knicks. They had
Yeah.
a good thing going, and they traded all the pieces away because he couldn't wait till the offseason to go
Yeah.
there as a free agent.
And I love Carmelo in Syracuse and that too. I loved his game back in the day. I really did.
Yeah.
I don't blame
people
him for
have
saying
him as one of the best college basketball players of all time.
I
For
would
that.
agree. I put Danny Manning up there too for what he did that run in the tournament where he just dominated every team to take Kansas to a title. Carmelo did it too. Jordan.
Yeah,
a lot of people.
you know what we should do? When college basketball starts, we should actually come up with like a list or something or do
Chat
like top 5 college basketball players of all time.
Chat GPT.
Yep. Yeah, I love that. I really love that.
We
Yeah.
can utilize that. We can utilize that. I mean, it definitely correlates into who's playing in the NBA, and most of them that went to the NBA. The surprising thing would be some that were great in college that didn't amount to NBA stars, because there are some of those. Jimmer Fredette,
Oh,
just
I
recently. There's a couple other ones.
I love Jimmer for that.
So that'd be
I've
a great
always had.
conversation to have. His
Yeah.
name's Jimmer. How can you not like someone named Jimmer?
I don't know. People don't. I don't know. But yeah, Nikki, how do you feel about this Carmelo Anthony before we go on to the best 6-man?
I mean, Carmelo, it's Carmelo just trying to put his name out there, use his platform. Now, if Carmelo, I mean, could he possibly try to score that many points? I don't know, kind of tough with Brunson leading the way, but I mean, and furthermore, like the chemistry wouldn't be there. Carmelo would want to be the lead scorer of that team for his own sake. The dynamics between Brunson would be, I don't know. I mean, Brunson would be the lead player on the team, so I don't know if Carmelo would.
Steven Adams.
What?
What about Steven Adams?
Talking about someone's already throwing their 6-man out there. We're not there yet, Vic.
Oh, we're not there yet.
But yeah,
We're still on Mello.
but Carmelo, it's kind of a bit crazy, man. I think it's that side of Carmelo that feels like, hey, I'm the best thing going. I'm the best scorer. Look what I did with the Knicks. I could easily dominate this team mentality, but yeah, obviously he's not factoring in how would he fit in with those guys, who would be getting the looks and all that.
The game's changed a little bit too since Melo's been gone.
Yeah, so I don't know if it would work out as well as much as he believes it would.
Keep on keeping on, Melo.
Yeah, because ISO basketball isn't winning basketball. Like
Yep.
you would shoot 30 times to try to get to those points, but
True.
It's not winning basketball.
Yeah,
Not in today's NBA.
Is he a Hall of Famer or no?
Melo? Not first.
No, I mean he did not get inducted, right? No,
not yet.
No.
I
not
think he
yet.
will eventually,
Right.
He's got to.
because overall career and all the stuff with Team USA as well. I mean, yeah, you got to put him in there.
He was inducted. He's being inducted into the 2024 New York City Basketball Hall of Fame class.
Yay! Good
Well,
for him.
New York basketball legend.
I'm sure the list of New York Hall of Famers are really good.
Right. Yeah. That's where basketball was founded, apparently. But yeah. Carmelo, I think he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah, he's done everything he could at the NBA level except win a championship and then win an MVP. Everything else he's got.
Yeah.
Scoring titles, All-Stars, All-NBAs.
6-time All-NBA, 10-time All-Star. And I don't hold a player not getting a chip when it comes to Hall of Fame because it is an individual prize. And if they're not on a championship team, that sucks for them, but it does. I mean, look at Barkley and, I could go on and on. It's not really,
Ewing.
it's not a prerequisite to get into the Hall that you must have a championship. And that's fair. It
Stockton.
shouldn't. Plus what Carmelo
Iverson.
did in the Olympics, I think puts him,
Yeah.
puts him up maybe in there as well.
Yeah. He's got to.
Yeah.
And then now, we can rank that. Best players who never won a ring.
Oh,
Yeah.
good one.
I think we did.
Let's do it one week.
Didn't we do that already? Didn't we do that? Players that
We
didn't
probably
win
have.
a ring? I thought we did that already.
We probably have.
All right.
But speaking of ranking, let's rank our top 6 men of the of all time. And just because Blaze said it, why not? Here's ChatGPT to rank the top
Well,
6 men.
before I have a little aside thing when it comes to 6 man because it's
Here.
I look at it 2 different ways. The 6 man as a player, I never really played at a very high level, but as a player starting to have a 6 man come in, because I mean, players that start, you get into that zone, you're making all your buckets, but to have a 6 man come in and add a spark and have them
Yeah.
get into the zone is a big deal. And I think that's, you look at it as being a starter, having a 6 man come in and then flip the script. I've also played in really talented teams where I had to be the 6 man, and then coming in as the 6 man, the importance is a lot harder that you need to lift the team up when you come in to get yourself noticed because you're not a starter. And a lot of these 6 man award winners or best probably started on a team at some point. So it's like, they're not always, everyone in this list we look at isn't always a 6th man, but at one point in time, they were a 6th man. But I got a problem with ChatGPT's list already that you showed.
Oh, really? Let's talk about it then.
Because the top 2 should be easy to say because there's only 2 people that have ever won it 3 times.
Okay. So you don't have Manu at 1?
No.
You don't have Lou at 2?
Lou and Jamal Crawford have both won 3. No one else has won 3. And that says a lot to do it 3 times.
So you have Lou at 1?
Crawford at 1.
Oh, that's exactly where I had mine.
So I have Crawford. I'll just go ahead and do mine. I got Crawford and Lou Williams. I reached deep. I John Havlicek back before they had 6 man of the award. He was the 6th man on all those.
Yeah.
On all those Celtics
GPT didn't even
championships.
go to top 10. I could just go.
And
Or 6 man.
as much as I'd hate to do it, and I didn't like him, he has 2 awards, and that's Kevin McHale with the Celtics.
There's John Havlicek right there.
Yeah, there he is.
7.
Yep.
So I would have Crawford,
Jason
Lou
Terry.
Williams. Okay, it doesn't matter who my 5 are.
Yeah. Here.
Are you going to do the list, or are you going to do us picking our 5 first? Make up your mind, Mitch.
Go for it.
Crawford, Williams, McHale, and then I'm going Havlicek, and then I'm going to be a homer and pick Bobby Jones as the last one.
Oh, I
Because
didn't even
when
think about Bobby Jones.
When the Sixers, back in the day, he was coming off the bench as a spark, and he did it for a long time.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of other ones too, so I want to see who everyone else's 5 are.
Let's go with Rios, and then Nikki and me.
All right. So actually, I had Manu at 1, just because he was out of those guys. He was the better player out of Lou Williams and
Fair. Crawford.
And Crawford, yeah, sorry, had a brain fart. But yeah, I have Manu at 1, Crawford at 2, Lou Williams at 3, Jason Terry at 4, and Kevin McHale at 5.
I like that Kevin
Terry.
McHale one because those teams are so dominant.
And I hated McHale, but I got to give him respect for what he did. I hated the
Yeah.
whole Celtics back then.
Yeah, but he was one of the best post players of all time.
Yep,
Gotta
agreed.
give it to him.
I'm fair. I definitely agree.
All right, Nikki, who you got?
For me, my top 5 6-man of all time. See, I got to go with, of course, the original. Go with Lou Williams, of course. Crawford, just going in any order that comes in my head. Of course, you got those guys. Then you got Robert McHale. Here's another one I'm going to give a shout out to. Robert Horry. Remember him?
Big shot Bob.
Yeah,
Big
Horry.
shot Bob. That's a good one.
That is.
Yeah.
I like
there
that
was
one,
Somebody
yeah.
you guys didn't mention.
He was a great 6-man, but I don't think he didn't ever win a 6-man of the year.
Right.
Yeah, he didn't become a 6-man till I think when he was on the Spurs or Lakers. I can't remember when he started.
That's what I'm saying. A lot of these guys also started.
Right. And you know who else was a great 6-man you guys didn't mention yet? I'm going to mix up and go Iggy for the Warriors.
Yep.
Yep.
So there's
Iggy's
another one.
on the ChatGPT. That's number 6. So I like that one.
And there's a lot of names. You could throw maybe a Vinnie Johnson just to throw someone different in there.
Yep. All right. So with my one, I think I said Jamal Crawford. I think I said 1 for Jamal Crawford just because of his handles as well. I mean, once he got you on that island in ISO, it was over. So you got to put Crawford at 1. I put Ginobili at 2 because I grew up watching him. So 3, I'm going to put Iggy just for the fact with those Warriors teams, how well he was just contributing at such a high pace. So that's my 3. 4 is Lou Will. And then 5 is Kevin McHale. Who do they have at 10? Michael Cooper at 10.
Oh, Michael Cooper for the Lakers. Yep.
With
Ricky
those Spurs,
Pierce.
a lot of those dudes, they sacrificed their games, but they had a dynasty because they were willing to sacrifice. Like Tim Duncan, he would have scored way more points than he did, but he sacrificed his game for the betterment of the team.
And then
Yeah.
Lamar Odom at 12.
Oh, Lamar Odom.
I hate to
Ben
say it, but
Ballin.
James Harden did win it in the 12 with the Thunder. He was
Yeah.
a 6-man.
He was, yeah.
Tony Kukoc with the Bulls.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Tony Kukoc.
Detlef Schrempf won it twice with the Pacers. Del Curry. You all right, Nikki?
Yeah, I'm good.
Del Curry
Okay.
won it in 94 with the Hornets. You said Lamar Odom, right?
Yeah.
He was on that list. Bill Walton in 86.
Mhm.
Bill
Jason
Walton was
Terry
not on
was
that
Who
list.
said Jason Terry? That was a great one.
That was on the list.
Jason, no,
That's
something-
CBT.
That was me.
yeah, Rios had him
Oh.
in his 5. Yeah.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Ricky Pierce won it twice with the Bucks, 90 and 87.
Mm.
J.R. Smith in 13.
Oh, yeah. JR.
Eric Gordon in 17. Anthony Mason in
Oh,
95.
that's it. That's a name.
And then a couple other ones that, you guys have already mentioned. Ori Iguodala, Vinny, Michael Cooper, never won it, but were great 6-men.
Stepping outside the box at the end of his career, Ray Allen is the 6-man for Miami in that second championship.
So
Yeah.
He didn't win the award, but he was good for that short period of time. He was a 6-man in Miami.
There's the recent ones that have won it. Nas, of course, last year, Brogdon, Hero, Clarkson. And that's like Rio said, like Ginobili, arguably, a lot of people put him at 1 because he was the best out of all these players. These are guys that don't normally start. So if you're
Right.
thinking of guys who excelled throughout their whole career, but maybe played 6-man and did really well as a 6-man sometimes as well, it's a different story. So you got the
Sorry.
Crawfords, Lou Williams, he did it 3 years within 5 years. Like, that's crazy. Same thing with
Yeah.
Crawford, 2 in a row, but then he did it down here with Atlanta. So Lou Williams did it with 3 different teams.
So let me ask
Right?
you guys this.
No, 2 different.
Lou Will, a Hall of Famer?
Nah.
See, that's tough with
No.
6-man.
No.
no.
The only 6-man I could see-
Hall of Fame now.
Barbosa.
6-man I could see is Harden. That's the one 6-man
Yeah,
I could
because
see
they've
going to Hall of Fame.
him and
Individual
Ginobili,
star.
I would say.
Yep. Ginobili, that second one.
But if you look at the
Uh,
list of people that won the award here, Mike Miller, Ben Gordon, Antoine Jameson, Bobby Jackson, Corliss Williams, Aaron McKee, Rodney, they're not Hall of Famers.
they're
Danny
not
Manning,
names. Yeah.
no, they're
John
guys
Starks. John Starks
who,
good.
yep, John Starks in 96.
So at that point, he was at the end of his career. John Starks.
Yeah.
So these are players like we're talking about that come off the bench for a spark, not necessarily superstars. And, hey, that could be a good one, Nick. Oops, sorry.
Yeah, there's a
Oh,
few
good.
guys that they should have been starters, but they came off the bench for the betterment of the team. Like James Harden, he should have been starting, but it worked better for that Thunder team for him coming off the bench. Same thing with Meyer.
And then as soon as he got to your Rockets, the first 2 games he dropped over 40.
Yeah,
Great. Everyone was like, "Where did this come from?"
should have been starting. All it needed was 6 minutes.
Being a great 6-man can lead to being a star, but like we've seen, it doesn't happen very often. You look at all those names, they're good players, but only a few have become great or even considered to be possible Hall of Famers.
Right. Lou Williams is not one of them to me.
Cedric Maxwell's another one on this. Barbosa is another one.
Yeah, Barbosa actually won it in 07.
Who said
The
Bobby
Suns.
Jones? Was that Blaze?
Yeah, me, Sixers in 83, he won it.
Gallinari? I forgot about Gallinari.
Anthony Mason for the Knicks. How about
Tony
Dan Marley?
Kukoc.
Dan Marley for the Suns was a good 6-man.
Yeah. A lot of people don't talk about it 6 men. So
And it could be a very important thing. And we always talk about having a great NBA team nowadays. You got to have depth. So you better have better have a good 6-man. Whether
that's
it's the
why I
backup to
have
your
the
star.
Knicks. That's why I have the Knicks over the Sixers.
Yeah,
Because of depth.
until proven otherwise. Sorry to steal that quote, but it's true. When you got a new team, I keep thinking of that number 5. Sixers have 5 people coming back from last year. That's big. That's a big difference in your team. It all depends
And
on
then
whether they play well together.
And then Marcus Morris goes to the Knicks. He goes back to the Knicks. I'm like, great. So he goes to the Knicks. Landry Salmon went to the Knicks. Former Sixers go to the Knicks now. Cameron Payne, Mikal Bridges.
When you see a team's doing well, people want to go there.
Yeah.
People want to be a
And
part of it.
New York is a bigger market than Philly. So, and I hate saying that. I do. But
Of course,
I mean-
it's a fact.
look
wrong
what
with that.
they did to our Wells Fargo. We didn't even show up.
It's over y'all stadium. I mean, they're a bigger city, bigger markets. I mean, it's just facts. Like,
We got time to do the offseason pickup thing, the game,
Ye-
Mitch?
Yep.
I
Let
can
me
share it. I have it. I
yep.
have it ready.
Okay, go for it.
I
then.
think I have it. No,
All
I
right, what
don't.
is this?
If you don't have it, I can bring it up.
Good. I thought I
I-
thought I saved it to my
You
desktop.
sent it to me. Oh,
So there was a list that I saw that's had the best and worst off-season pickup for each team. And the way I want to do this is they've already picked who they thought their best and worst was from the list of top picks. Okay, so they already picked Johnny Furphy as the worst and Paul George as the best. So now we're going to go through us, and I'll go last. I want you guys, you can't pick. You're missing the bottom. You got to get to the bottom. Go down a little more. There you go. So
that is.
you got to pick who you think is the best off-season move and the worst, but you can't use the 2 that are already used. All right.
Okay.
So we'll start with Nikki on the bottom.
All right. All
You know
those
what? You're
guys-
running this show.
I got you.
Yeah.
Yep. So
Best and
DeMar
worst.
DeRozan to the Kings, the best.
Okay.
And then who's the
And
worst?
Jacoby Walter, the Raptors.
Okay. So now Rios, and you can't use those 4. You can't use DeRozan or Walters or the 2 that are X'd out.
okay. From there, I would say probably Westbrook to the Nuggets would be the best move.
Okay.
I was gonna say that.
No, you can't.
I
And-
hate that.
That's the
And-
fun part of it.
And worst,
I know what Mitch's worst is.
Probably Chris Paul to the Spurs. I think he should have went to. a
No,
contender.
that was gonna be my best.
No, okay,
Fuck.
fair. You can't pick Chris Paul, Westbrook, DeRozan, or Walters though, but that's good. I like that because that is very polarizing. The Paul one could go either way, but it could be the worst. That's a good pick.
Like, I
All
can
right.
see why he went there, but I think for someone who's at the very end of their career, you should have went to a team that's going to be contending sometime soon.
Good point. Good point,
So
Mitch. All
my
right.
bet is Clay Thompson.
All right. Now
That
I
is
was
my
thinking of
best one.
that,
You
so
got-
no, I can't pick that. And your
And then
worst
my
is
worst-
Tobias Harris.
Yeah, there it is. There it is.
Absolutely shocking.
I was waiting for that one. All right, so now I can't pick any of those, and I got to do a best and the worst. I will go.
Wait,
worst.
hold on.
Ooh, that's close because I got a couple.
Earl, you got to get off the Hardcore Sports Network Facebook.
In-season tournament. So I mean, I could see, and I'm kind of breaking the rules here. On the top right, I think Josh Giddey is a lot better than people give him respect for. Forget about the
I can agree.
off-court bullshit. He can be a factor with the Bulls. Buddy Hield, he's not Klay Thompson, but they did replace him with another shooter that could kind of fill that a little bit. And then I think Zach Edey could be the best because of his
I was
fit
thinking
with
that.
Ja down there. So I'm gonna take Zach Edey, and that's a draft pick, not a pickup, but it's still an off-season
It's-
move.
It's still a move, yeah.
And then whoever Tijane Solion for the Hornets are, I'll just pick him.
All right. So
But
what?
yeah,
Is
that's
that
good.
to
It goes-
Nikki?
No, that's it. Everyone just
Oh.
picks one.
Oh, I thought we were going to keep on going
You-
until we
I
can't
mean,
use it anymore.
It's kind of overkill now, but because there's a couple.
Yeah.
Because
No
I
one
mean-
said Mikal Bridges.
I think Reed Shepard and Kel Ware could make a lot of difference with their teams. And then we got both of the French guys, Sar and Riza Shea, with two teams that suck. All they got to do, if they can play even part of their potential early, it would be pretty impressive. I mean, those are only names that really stick out to me. Mikal Bridges, I mean, he's already on it. He's going to a team that already stacked. So I don't see him making as big of an impact that people think he's going to. And I love Rob Dillingham. He's super young. He's a Kentucky boy, but I think he could be a superstar. But it's going to take him time. He's only 19.
Yeah, I mean, Caruso to the Thunder, that's a big one, too. I think
Big
they-
one.
That helps them out because they need that veteran presence and someone that's going to be a dog on defense.
Yeah, definitely. I like that one too. So I got a trivia question before we go.
Hit me with it.
It's an NBA trivia question. And
I
the
love
chat-
this. I'm not even hosting it. I love this.
It's the chat and you guys. What NBA logo, what NBA team has never changed their logo?
Can
They're
I look at the
official.
logo?
If you want to, that's right. It's right behind don't I have it on the background? Or no?
Yeah, but I like it on the ESPN because they
Yeah, bring it
show it
up
right
and see.
there.
There's one team that's never changed their official logo. There's only
What
one.
do I get brownies if I get it?
I'm going to take a wild guess. Lakers?
Nope, they've changed it a little bit. It's very minor, but they've changed it a little bit.
Celtics.
Nope, Celtics have changed, even though
Celtics changed. They
it used
changed
to be
the
that
color.
little guy.
Trailblazers.
No, I don't think those aren't the. I don't know if those are the official logos or those are just because they
The
have
Thunder?
altered. They have redder. No,
The Bulls.
think- that's it. It's the Bulls.
Oh,
They've never changed their
Huh?
logo.
I
And
thought
if
it
you
was the
turn their logo
Thunder.
upside down, it's a robot violating a crab. If you've ever seen that.
Oh, God.
Wait, what?
Whoa.
If you turn the Bulls logo upside down, it looks like a robot violating a crab.
What?
I'd rather not.
Hold on.
No, thank you.
Bulls logo upside down.
Of course, it's the first.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh.
Look at it. See, robot having sex with a crab. You see it now?
Come on.
I
Come on.
think that alone should have got them to change their logo.
Oh, come on. Oh, stop.
I see
Oh,
it now. Yeah.
I was scrolling through reels on Instagram and someone was asking that question to the public. And I didn't guess. I guessed Lakers, Knicks at first. I was like, maybe the Knicks never changed it, the Lakers, but they had minor changes. The Bulls have never changed their logo.
Is this the reason why?
No, that's the reason they should change it. No, we're not Well, I'm monetized. But I think
now I
it's gonna take more.
see it.
It's gonna take more. Yeah, now you'll never unsee it. That's it. The Bulls
And then look
logo.
what Cho-
Two
look
fun
what
facts
Joey
about
said.
the Bulls logo. Turn it upside down, and the fact it's never been changed. There's your fun fact for today's episode.
Now I can never unsee it.
There you have it.
All right.
I'm done with Blazed.
It's not Blake.
I
Whatever.
didn't make the logo.
He didn't make it.
I
It's just a
didn't
known
discover that
fact.
either. It's just a fact.
It
It's
is.
a fact.
Wait, how'd you figure that out then?
I've seen it all over social media before.
Figured. Like Vegas, I have no clue. I have no clue.
Like
It's
the
Naughty
city
Blade.
team.
Hey, Blaze, you want to close out this show?
No, I think we already did.
All right, let me go back here. All right, guys,
Okay.
appreciate everyone tuning in to the Pick Your Roll podcast. What was that, Nikki?
I mean, you can't top how Blaze closed it, so
Yeah.
A trivia, little game show, and a trivia. There you have it.
Yeah.
nice try. That's
Alright.
not what I was referring to.
All right. Make sure you guys hit that like, hit that sub, hit that notification bell. Make sure you guys tune in for the Pick and Roll podcast during the season. And with that being said, make sure you hit the like. Hey,
And make sure you tune in tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, exclusively on the Hardcore Sports Network. Week 3 NFL Pick'ems, hosted by Philly Sports Rap. Your boy hosted it last week. Will be on, possibly a few more guests. So tune in.
appreciate
Fasten your seatbelts for the realest Eagle.
It'll
I
do it.
don't think was that you?
Rick.
All right, we're out. Peace.